Morning, everybody. Michelle's here. Him. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm sure. I know it's early and people have to get up and go to work or do something like that. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm getting up so I can start doing some work around the house. And but I just wanted to come through and just say this: um, that you can't be, no matter what you do. Unfortunately, um, see, I think a lot of people always, for some reason, always thought I can be easily manipulated, or that I was vulnerable for some reason. I don't know if I got vulnerable written on my head. Do I? Can't see it. And so I've always said, see, this here's the situation. If you don't know who you are, what you are, and why you are, yes, you will be vulnerable. Okay, but listen to this here. It doesn't mean that people won't keep coming after you and coming after you and attempting to take advantage of that vulnerability. I mean, I had to learn to develop this type of personality or ego or whatever everybody wants to tell you, that I can't let a lot of this superficiality and irrelevancy to kind of penetrate into me. And so a lot of people see that as that I'm non-caring, or that I'm vulnerable, or so many other tags to that than what it actually is. Because you have to experience people. Now, whether there's red flags or not, as long as there's no physical damage to me, because I can handle my feelings. I don't let my feelings necessarily get wrapped up in people anyway, per se. Because, with your feelings, you really have to manage your feelings, especially if you're a feeler type of person, because you can be so fluctuating in your feelings because of the disturbance in the planet. Anyway, there's a disturbance in the planet with the negative and the positive, and the masculine and the feminine. So if you're a type of person that operates off your feelings, you're gonna always get wrapped up in that. It's like a whirlpool or vortex or something. You're just spinning, and everything's chaos all the time. And a lot of people get their nerves get they get their nerves easily frayed, just like you're just short. I mean, it's not funny, but it's not a calming effect on you, and a calming effect on your humanity, to be always fluctuating like that. See, my mom was like that. My mom was a perfect teacher, because there was a lot of things going on in the house that taught me a lot about um, humaneness and how to be a human being. Even see, so people are teaching you whether they know they're teaching you or not. So we all can be teachers, but a lot of people are unconscious about it. And so the ones that are conscious, like myself, can pick up the lessons that they're teaching us, whether they are realizing that they're teaching us or not. And again, like I said, when it comes to a sociopath, psychopath, narcissistic person, the ones that do the most harm are women. All right, because the women are the ones flailing around in their feelings, and they know how to wrap people around that, and kind of capture them with stuff, especially when they know your vulnerability, right? So I've always said that I'm a visual person, which is true, and I love being visual. I love looking at the beauty of people. I love it. Um, the eyes, especially. That's just something I like to do. But I'm fully developed though, and well, not fully developed, but fully developing. I'm constantly fully developing. So that means that, hey, you can put it out there for me to look, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna touch it. It's entertainment purposes only for me. That's what it is now. Um, and you know, see, when I think about Michael Jackson for a minute, let's just talk about him for a minute. See, he had this universal love for people. He loved you, man or woman, child or animal, insects or whatever. Michael Michael loved. He had universal love for people. The only issue I felt is that he he didn't understand that is what he was doing was universal love. Okay, and he didn't he didn't ex- see. I don't know what was going on in his personal life, which I think he came from black culture, so Michael was fine in black culture. It's when Michael came out of black culture is when the problem started. Okay, when Michael was in black culture, Michael was fine and protected. It's when Michael came out of that, that's when the problem started. Okay, and he started and he got manipulated and taken advantage of, and told he need to look this way, look a certain way, or look a and he was pushing himself so much because he was just trying to help people and love people, but he didn't know that he was falling for a trap, and that came in the form of most of the people that was in his circle, which were not necessarily his family. Did you understand me there? Michael had a circle of people around him, but not necessarily his family. Okay? So, the thing about universal love, you know, and the people that know of it, um, you have to always develop yourself so that you can recognize contradictions and so you can recognize the sociopath, psychopath, cowards who love who know how to snake their way in all the time, and it's usually because they're objectifying themselves. If they've realized somebody's a visual, which is usually men, it's very rare that a lot of women are visuals. Men are visuals, and that's how they can get easily manipulated by the strippers, or the exotic dancers, or the object on a woman, whether it's her breast or butt, and for me it's the eyes. And then the beauty, because when I look in someone's eyes, I can see the beauty, the complete package of the beauty, and we're all doing that, by the way. Not even men are doing that too. Men are looking at what this person is presenting to them as their as beauty. Now, is it beauty? In most cases, it's manipulation. They are using men. Men are used all the time, and that's and I don't have no issue saying that. No issue at all. Now, usually the feminine energy does that. The feminine energy manipulates. They do. But I'm not complaining about it because I know who I am and what I am and why I am. So I'm going to enjoy it. If you're going to put it out there, I'm going to enjoy it and be and not but at the same time, I am always encouraged to support anybody, especially women. If they are genuinely coming to me and saying, hey, look, I have this concept of something, blah, 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 and I want to launch it, and I'm going to support some of it. I'm not going to I'm getting too old to be, playing around and trying to support everything. You can't support everybody. You cannot. But you do need to give people a benefit of the doubt and see it through. So in other words, I know when I'm being manipulated, but I'm going to see it through. And because I want to know what is the purpose. And then, so yesterday, I it was crystal clear. And so I'm thankful for that. Still, I am still that's inspiring, by the way. what happened yesterday. Um, and what happened yesterday is basically um, everything was revealed. How about that? Um, you when you are experiencing something, you you really need to really see it through, unless it's painful and dangerous for you. Now that's different. You need to step away from that. But if there's no real danger per se, you're relatively safe, and these people and somebody comes to you with these concepts of intentions, then let's see it through. And so that's what I did. I um, I mean, because there's a possibility for so many breakthroughs in thinking. There's always possibilities in that. And if somebody is willing to recreate the wheel, I'm going to pay attention to that. And that's why I gave a shout out to a particular artist who came into the game. And I can remember, like I said, I was in DC and I'm sitting around a table, these motherfuckers, and they just judging people, talking about, okay, nah, she ain't gonna last. She ain't gonna last. She ain't gonna. And I was saying to myself, these people are shifting. They're shifting the game. And I find that so inspiring too. And I gave them a shout out. They know who they are. I don't need to be doing that. But they shift the game. And so if I think someone else is coming through with a certain type of identity, and they're claiming to shift the game that's normally held by men, I'm gonna pay attention. Okay, and that's what I was doing. I was intrigued and curious, because normally at this particular, I'm gonna go back again to marketing. Let's go back to marketing. Marketing is a failure. This current modern day marketing is a failure, and eventually women get hurt all the time. Okay, so if a woman comes in and saying that they can possibly recreate the wheel in marketing and make it more sound, or give it more respectability, or give it some type of you know the, prove the necessity of it all, I'm gonna pay attention. And that's what I was doing. And there were red flags, because I told you I have to be face to face with people and look someone in their eyes to know if their intentions are genuine, and I can usually pick it up right away, physically. Now on the computer screen, forget about it. You're not going to be able to, and I've said that. You're not. Any more than you're going to pick up from me. Any more than what you're going to pick up from me. And I'm going to make that clear, but it's not going to stop me from talking to people and sharing information. Okay, because I know my voice does travel. And I know my thoughts as well. And I know how to control my thoughts. Okay, meditation does that. So if you're not meditating, you're not going to get there. You won't ever get there. So with meditation, it can take you there. Okay, it can take you there. So I was following that through, and I was being inspired, and I'm still. Let's put it this way: I'm still inspired. But it turned out that it was all smoke and mirrors, and that's fine. I still have to play it through and give people the benefit of the doubt, and say, well, gosh, if they're going to be spending all this time, then, you know. So on my behalf, that's an experience that I have to experience, because like I said, marketing to me is, there's no necessity for marketing if you're a creative person. Now, If you're still operating off of that same will that usually men follow under, like I said, because men get financed by women. Okay. Now, if somebody wants to come into the game, say another woman, and say that that's what they're going to do, recreate the wheel. They're not falling for the spin. They say they're going to recreate something. I'm going to pay attention to that. And that's what I was told was going to be happening. Until yesterday, it was crystal clear that it was the same game because it came out of their mouth. It came out of this person's mouth. And I remember stuff. and I saw and contradictions was knocking my. That's why I had a headache yesterday too. Because I thought I could be a partner with this, and support it and push it through, but it's all smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. Now, somebody else may see value in it, and hopefully the person is face to face and not doing this stuff online. Eventually get face to face with these people saying this stuff to you and say, okay, even with me, I'm going to start talking online and being live, but don't take nothing I'm motherfucking saying until you can see me face to face and know that I'm walking the talk. I'm not just spinning and giving you illusions and fantasies and manipulation. Okay? Now, but you have to experience it. I'm telling people that know this, the ones that are advanced in meditation, you know this, and you genuinely are trying to help people, you're going to have to keep, I know I get tired of it too. And I want my aloneness, and I don't want to be bothered with people. But I'm going to give this Facebook thing an effort. And if it resonates, cool. If it doesn't, I'm fine. And I'm going to probably disappear. Disappear from online, meaning because the damage is done. And if people can't raise their vibrational level and don't understand what that means, I need to start just reading more, because I got a lot of stuff to read. And I'm enthusiastic about that. I really am. I'd rather do that than to be, and I'll just go online and, chit chat off. But when you have a technology like this and you have information, we are obligated to help. We can't just sit on the sidelines and be cheerleaders. If we don't make the effort, fine. All we can say is that we did give it an attempt, and this is the result. That's what usually happens to all messengers anyway. The same result comes out in the end. And what happens? The planet gets destroyed. And as the story goes, it just goes on and on and on and on in a spin. So now the spin is about to, at some point, the spin is going to end. And that's going to be it. This, planet Earth is going to be similar to Malona and Akart and Mu and Atlantis. And I and others will just continue on our spiritual path. And where we end up, we're going to, the light-mindedness of all of us, we're going to end up where we need to end up. And know that we put in the effort to help. We didn't just sit on the sidelines we put in the effort. Even the messenger in his advanced age and advanced illnesses, he still moves. And I see that with a lot of teachers. That's why I say I'm thankful for a lot of you that are coming forward. I know you're up in age and you'd rather be, but you know what the mission is. The 144-210s, you know what it is. So I hope that resonates, and I hope that makes sense. I know it makes sense to the 144-210s. So that's what I'm speaking to. And then this will make sense to the future, to the descendants. It will not make sense to the current people, the current adults. All right. So I want to send peace and love this morning, everybody. Do what you need to do, but do it in love of yourself. And, love others regardless of if they're manipulating you or not. Just love them, but you need to, at some point, you got to let them go as well. All right, so take that, and you know what? I'll be back.